That was supposed to be our intro. This is a story about two little girls from the Bronx. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until you're good, better, best. At 6, she knew more metaphors and similes for broken things than she knew about unicorns and magic. She knew home used to be an island, then a tiny Bronx apartment, and now a suitcase full of dreams no one can eat. But she could read, so she pictured banquets of bread on her bed. She would feast on the pages, devouring sword fights and romances. She made an altar of paper and pen to quell her hunger with them. And then her mother said,
El querer es poder.
where there's a will, there's a way. So she binge read her escape from homeless to straight A's.
There was a girl who grew up on Undercliff Ave, where there was overcast, and still the sun showers sprinkled promise on her wise and worry-ridden face. She noticed the dreams misplaced among her neighbors and in her own home, and her displaced mother who left her at 1 year old. Her father raised 4 of them alone. He battled depression. Her brothers battled survival-style street aggression. Her sister battled being born a crack baby, and still, the sun managed to rise, as if to remind her to shine. She could often find a way to smile. She knew she was worthy, so she envisioned her future. In class on 3rd Ave in Brook, she dreamed of writing books. Both skipped, both on the honor roll, both traveling in different directions,
Excelling,
surviving. She was pulled further from her potential by the currents of life. Surviving, not thriving, diving further into the abyss, contemplating ending it, dropping out, being admitted into a hospital for depression. She missed the mark in high school. The result was plenty of red marks that scarred her confidence. It wasn't until the summer before senior year that she found motivation. Her salvation came through summer school, then a 1 to 10 p.m. and night school. No time for fun, but then she decided she wanted to go to college. That's when she went to the office and they told her she wouldn't get in. As far as they could see, she wasn't graduating. No spellman, no common app, no personal statement detailing her situation. Explaining in a school of 4,000, she'd scored the highest on the English and topped the global and U.S. history regions. Her transcript showed a very different trajectory in bold letters, that she was no go-getter. There are 180 days in a school year, and she was absent 180 days since she started in the 10th grade. They suggested community college. After all, she obviously lacked knowledge or know-how or both. 4 years of high school, and she left with an overall F. Devastated and defeated, but determined to show them up, to prove them wrong, she told the line. Got her Regent scores just in time to hop in a cab, throw on her hijab and her cap and gown, and walk across the stage. When she got her diploma, it didn't sport her 64 average. Her sister, it didn't say failure. For her, it represented deep success. And her family, including her absent mother, was present.
In high school, she masked her accent, straightened her ghetto, divorced her beautiful, and tried to fit in outside of her skin because she was all colors of the rainbow in a white world. Daughter of an illiterate cow herder, a factory worker mother, she inherited big dreams and a scholarship. Private school was great, except for when she was an island no one swam to. Found herself at the ends of the privilege walk too. Everybody stared and talked, couldn't understand how this poor daughter of immigrants, this friend of coincidence could have outsmarted them. Books and words hardened her stem. This beat grew too much too quick for them. She found friends and other poets, a home on the stage, and graduated this way. Her mother could only thank her in Spanish, and she repeated,
El querer es poder.
where there's a will, there's a way. Now, the Bronx baby sit in your shoes, finish high school and She put down her books because life had come knocking. Back in Harlem, NYC, living with her mother, brother, and an empty fridge. She went to class with an aching belly. College student broke was no joke. She had 2 jobs, work study, and an internship. But she forgot to build relationships, to make connections. She believed, just like before, that she could do it on her own, and this was her harder lesson learned.
She had to learn a new language that was foreign to her, had to work with people who thought of her kind differently, had to decide to sink or swim, resolved to do her best and hone in on her interests, made plenty mistakes, but always had what it takes, faked right and went left in several classes, but ultimately passes. She travels, she interns, she drives, she swims. She finishes college with honors, 5 fellowships and scholarships for $35,000 upon graduation. Hey! And she became your teacher to help you get to this day. Any number of things could have held us back.
Money,
Abuse,
single-parent homes,
dysfunctional families.
homelessness.
But we chose not to focus on the deficits.
We learned, and you will learn, to love the world,
To step out of your box and stand in your truth.
to hold yourself to high standards,
To pick your friends like you pick your fruit.
to do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do.
That no book or class will prepare you until you actually do.
That growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
Attitude is everything.
Hard work beats talent.
If it's too easy, you're not dreaming big enough. That you all have inspired us to touch on some of our greatest struggles so that you might be reminded of all you've come through to get to this point. When we say I am, you say worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. As a Bronx baby, yes.
As the children of immigrants,
Yes, as the descendants of the greatest models of resilience, the rainbow that you be, Latinos and Blacks, Dominicanos, Chicanos, Boricuas, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Guineans, African Americans, we're from the Bronx. Music playing, hip-hop starting, Yankees World Series winning, power of the beats grinning, divine statistics being simply amazing. Horace, U.S. Congressional District, still produces some of the best, never settle for less, be relentless.